Alright, eagle-eyed veterans as well as comparison lovers, this is Sprues and Studs, and we are going to be looking at a comparison now between the Blood Angels Jump Pack Captain versus the Ultramarines Jump Pack Captain. Just because we have a little bit downtime, and this is something that I like to do. Let's take a look at these guys side by side. All right, let the comparisons begin on these two Jump Pack Captain action figures. We always start off with helmet, and nothing is going to change today with that either. So it looks like with the Ultramarines helmet, there is a gold laurel, as I have stated before in the review video, and instead of the gold laurel on the Blood Angels Captain, you get the blood tier. The Blood Angels Captain has a green lens, while the Ultramarines action figure has a blue lens. But I think aside from that, there is no difference whatsoever on these action figures. And as we move on to the pauldron here, there really isn't any sort of difference whatsoever in terms of the gold inlaying as well as the gold double Aquillas here. The only difference that you get to see is that there is an angel that is printed on the Blood Angels one, and Ultra that is printed on the Ultramarines one. There is a small difference down here with the forearm. The Blood Angels one is rocking a green light, and this one is rocking a red light. So then we are going to be taking a look at the other pauldron of this action figure, and there isn't any sort of difference whatsoever with the gold inlaying on the pauldron as well. The only difference is the screening of the chapter symbol. Now, the biggest difference that you can see on the Blood Angels action figure is that clearly he comes with a power fist. On the fist of the Blood Angels Captain, as well as the forearm of this Ultramarines Captain, it looks like this sun symbol is pretty much the same in terms of how it is designed. And then taking a look at the pauldron of these action figures, the construction of the pauldron is 100% the same. However, you have these varying symbols right here that are a little bit different, and the cords that are hanging down are clearly a different color. One is a shaded red and one is a shaded tan color. And then taking a look at the middle section of these action figures where the winged skulls are, there is a gold winged skull on the Ultramarine, and then a black winged skull with some highlights on the Blood Angels. Now, moving down on the center of these action figures, the belt buckle is completely the same on both of them, complete with that sun. And then taking a look at the icon that is over here, there is that same purity seal with the same construction that is dangling down. This icon over here is pretty much the same, except that the Blood Angels one has kind of like a silver attachment, where this one has a gold. And then taking a look at the purity seals, they are 100% the same. We're going to flip over onto the other side and take a look at the holster. And the shape of the holster is completely the same. It's just that the colors are varying and different. And then moving on to the knee portion, it appears that the knee portion is also 100% the same, with the same skull, as well as the bundled laurel that is over here. As we flip around to the back of this action figure, there are no appreciable differences from what I can see. It's the same construction and also the same jump pack engines for the legs down here. And the grav chutes on the side are completely the same as well. So there are more similarities than differences on this action figure, which is what I presumed. Now let's take a look at the accessories to see if there are any differences. All right, starting off with the capes. It appears that the construction of the cape is 100% the same, with the same kind of pattern, as well as the same embroidery on both of them. There are a few differences in the colors that were used. So obviously the Ultramarines one has a shaded red cord, and then the Blood Angels one has a shaded tan cord. This buckle here is silver on the Blood Angel, where it is gold on the Ultramarine. Then the cape clearly is a black versus a red. And if you flip around to the other side, I would have to say that the shading and the weathering on the Blood Angels one on my left-hand side seems to be a little bit deeper than the one on the right-hand side, which belongs to the Ultramarines Captain. And then finally, the purity seals on both of the capes are completely the same, no differences whatsoever. Now, as I pick up the Jump Pack backpacks, I would have to say that these things at cursory glance is 100% the same in terms of construction and, to be honest, detail on it. They both have these weathered gunmetal areas. They both have the metallic red engine glow, same grav chute, as well as same skull area on the back. One of the biggest things that actually surprised me was that the Blood Angels Captain actually does come with a bare head. I'm not exactly too sure why JoyToy did not include this bare head in the Captain one. I think they kind of should have, to kind of set the Captain apart from the rest of the, I suppose, grunt action figures that are out there. So this is one major difference. And to be honest with you, from here on out, it is completely different. The Blood Angels Captain gets a power sword, whereas the Ultramarines Captain gets a chain sword. Now, weirdly enough, I kind of think that the Blood Angels Captain should have received the chain sword, and then the Ultramarines Captain should have received this power sword over here. So obviously the Blood Angels Captain gets the heavy bolt pistol, and the Ultramarines Captain gets the plasma pistol over here. So those are pretty major differences in what you get on these action figures. So that concludes the side-by-side comparison for these guys. Let me wrap this comparison up with what surprised me about the differences and what did not. All right, folks, I'll have to say that I really wasn't too surprised about the differences or lack thereof in these action figures. I kind of figured that to kind of save money as well as to make money, it is easier to kind of reskin an action figure into a different color and then, well, make money on that because you're pretty much using the same parts. So there are definitely more similarities than differences in these two action figures over here, but I'll highlight a little bit of the differences. So obviously one of the biggest differences in the comparison video that I referred to was that the Ultramarines action figure over here does not have a bare head, whereas the Blood Angels one does actually include a bare head. I really kind of wish that the Ultramarines one did, but moving on from that, the weapons are also the biggest thing. The loadout of the Blood Angels Captain, there's actually more weapons where he gets the power fist, the heavy bolt pistol, as well as the power sword, whereas the Ultramarines Captain only has the chainsword as well as the plasma pistol. Perhaps it would have been better if the Blood Angels Captain got it like an Inferno pistol to have something different, and then rather than the plasma pistol, the Ultramarines Captain could have had the heavy bolt pistol. It really doesn't matter, it's just a matter of preference on your assault close combat loadout. The rest of these action figures, aside from just the aesthetics of it, it's pretty much the same. They just rebadged the Ultramarines Captain with Blood Angels iconography to give the Blood Angels Captain, which comes to probably no surprise to anybody. But at any rate, if you're interested in picking up these two action figures as well as more JoyToy action figures, just click in the link in the description below, or you will be brought to David Toys, where I get all of these beautiful action figures that I get to review on this channel. And before you check out, do not forget to use the code SNS to receive 12% off of your purchase. So thank you, members of the chapter, for joining me on this comparison video, as I have said before, and I will say at every single end of these videos, I'm extremely thankful for all the watch hours that you've been putting into this channel, as well as the engagement with all the likes, the subscriptions, as well as the comments that you've been giving me, and make the channel more viewable to other people who might be interested in joining the chapter. So with that being said, I will see you all in the next one.